Welcome to another edition of BATV. We're here today at the Mooroolbark Bowling Club in Victoria, catching up with a few of the players, presidents and coaches from the Australian Blind Bowling Association's 34th National Championships. First off, we speak to the Australian Blind Bowling Association's president, John Vance.
Well, John, this is the 34th Blind Bowls Championships that we've held here in Australia, and again another great turnout of 50 odd bowlers here at Mooroolbark in Victoria. A wonderful event for everyone to come to and to try and show their wares for international selection.
Exactly, yeah, it's a really great competition, and we have, as you say, 50 players and with their directors, people who help them to how to bowl. It's a great competition.
Can you explain that role of the director to us?
Yeah, the director basically is a person who stands beside the bowler and tells them, makes a shot selection basically with either forehand, backhand, and how hard the bowl has to be bowled to get to where they want to go. And obviously then when the bowl ends up near the jack, they then give a clock face description as to where their bowls ended, so that they can give and make an adjustment for the next shot.
There are different classifications of vision impaired bowlers, and they range from what we call B1 to B4. Are you able to give us a little snapshot of exactly what the difference in those classifications are?
Yeah, B1 is people who are totally blind, or if they're not, they have to wear block-out glasses. If I go down to the B4, those people have what we call, may be able to read, but in fact have tunnel vision. So they have a very narrow field of vision, and it's quite hard for them to work out what's going on down in the head. In between that, B2 and B3, the B3 people would be those who can just read possibly the top of the chart, of a vision chart, and the B2s would be counting fingers or seeing vague faces or things like that. So that's the variation that the people have here.
Now you've got a couple of major events coming up, and we'll talk about the Commonwealth Games shortly, where you are sending a team. But in July there's an event in Worthing of England, and this is part of the selection. You've got your team name now. We had Steve Glasson, the national coach, out here earlier. How are the preparations going for Worthing, England?
Extremely well. We've selected a team of 8 players and 8 directors, and with a manager and coach and delegate going with the team. So we have one male and one female in each of those 4 categories that you just talked about, and we've had selection trials, and we'll have had 3 training camps in the last 12 months to get the team up to the important skill level and working to do well in England. It's important to realise that we're defending the title that we won in Glenroy in 2009. So we have a big job ahead of us to make sure that happens again.
And also, just quickly talk to us about the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow in 2014 and what preparations are in place for that. And we're obviously talking about, I suppose the pinnacle of many sports, and bowls is one of those.
Absolutely. Well, we're closely in association with Bowls Australia, and through them the Commonwealth Games people, and there's going to be a selection of 2 vision impaired people in the B2 or B3 category that I talked about before, one male and one female, to represent Australia. And the exciting thing for us is that the medal will be considered at the same level as an able-bodied medal. So absolutely vital and important that we get the best people to go and do that in Glasgow next year. And I know that Bowls Australia are doing a lot of work and preparation towards that goal.
Now, we mustn't forget that every sport, when they travel overseas with a team of people, needs some important funding, and you're still chasing that, aren't you?
Absolutely. Well, I think first of all it's important to say that all our players by definition are blind pensioners, and they've been asked to contribute $1,500 towards the trip, as have their directors. So they're already contributing a considerable amount of money. We've been able to obtained a grant from Blind Sporting Council in South Australia, and also we've written to all the clubs in Australia and have had a response from 230 of them. And we've had donations, so that we're fairly close to reaching our goal of being able to fund the team completely when we go to England.
There's no doubt the green and gold contingent will do the country proud. I suppose, on a closing note, the impetus or the presence of Steve Glasson out here over the last day or so, and as part of the selection or the assistance he provides you, is a wonderful impetus to your organisation.
Absolutely, and it highlights the significant association and recognition that Bowls Australia give to disabled sport in general, and also to the vision impaired group in particular. We've been extremely grateful for the work that Steve and the CEO Neil Dalrymple have done in supporting us over the last 18 months in our attempts to get to England. So we're very grateful for that.
While also here today, we caught up with the Australian Blind Bowling Association and national coach Graeme Clements, touching on the logistics of their upcoming World Championships, which is due to kick off July in Worthing, England.
Graeme, as national coach of the Australian Blind Bowlers Association, you've got some exciting times ahead, none more pressing than the trip to the UK to Worthing for the World Championships in July.
Yeah, that's the immediate one, Andrew, and look, it's only 3 months away there now, and excitement's building, and we're on a countdown obviously at this stage, and things are going along pretty nicely.
As is always the case, there's obviously some funding needed, and you've had some great support up until this point, but obviously certainly there's room to receive some more contributions from people who'd like to donate.
Well, Andrew, look, I'm glad you raised that one for sure. We've had our President John Vance was having quite a considerable discussion last night with Bowls Australian CEO, and I think he was trying to sneak a couple more dollars out of him possibly. And look, we certainly are. We're near the mark for what we need, but we're still probably, I don't really know what the amount is, but I know it'll be quite a few $1,000s short at this stage. But hopefully we'll get there over that next 3 months. And yes, if anybody can help us out, look, please contact either Bowls Australia or ABBA, Australian Blind Bowlers Association.
You've selected a team now to travel to the UK. Just tell us a little bit about what the next couple of months holds, and the excitement amongst the troops who have been given that green and gold shirt.
Yeah, well, look, there's certainly a lot of excitement amongst them because there's some new ones in there from the last World Bowls. Last World Bowls was held here in Melbourne, in Australia, in Melbourne at Glenroy Bowls Club. It's 3 months away, as we said earlier. What's confronting us between here and then? Well, look, that we'll be discussing that. We've got a final training camp meeting on at the completion of the championships. That'll be on Tuesday and Wednesday morning. Look, we'll be more or less making plans and going over things, just fine-tuning everything at that particular stage with our travel arrangements and all those sort of things, how we're going to handle the trip, how we're going to handle the change of environment over there, change of time zone, all those sort of things have got to be looked at. And in that area, look, we've had Steve Glasson been out here for the last yesterday and today, and Steve's been giving us a lot of advice in that area. And look, he's very experienced, and look, we appreciate everything we get from Steve.
Is there a sense of, excitement around the fact that someone like Steve's involved in what you're doing, and the fact that it's a BA endorsed event?
Look, the input from Bowls Australia, the assistance they've given us have been fantastic. They've supplied the uniforms. We've had different training centre coaches have been involved with us. Gary Willis has been involved. Brett Wilkie was involved at Darabin. Steve's been involved himself. Look, it's been fantastic. Look, everything we've got amazing help, amazing assistance from Bowls Australia, and it's all appreciated.
And one last one, you're obviously encouraging a lot more people to take up the sport if they are unfortunately vision impaired, and people who can also become directors to help out as well.
Oh, mate, look, we'd love that, and I think that goes right across the board for all disabilities, but obviously, look, in our area it's vision impaired. And look, we're always looking for new members, and we're certainly looking for directors, and we're looking for all the support we can possibly get.
Good luck.
Andrew, thank you very much.